Okay, if you're looking for torque out of a Magnum, and let's just talk about naturally aspirated. Boost is a whole different conversation. Do not do this, okay? And I have a short story to go with this. So a couple years ago, I was determined to make a test showing a stock unmodified keg intake on a 360 and prove to everyone once and for all definitively that cutting down the runners on a keg is not effective. So I got a modified kegger from a vendor in the community. I'm not going to name names because I don't want the drama. But this was someone that was adamant that this works. So we had a known good 360 with a known good plenum gasket that was freshly rebuilt. We tested it. He had a Mopar Performance PCM. It made numbers that were appropriate to a basically stock 360 with exhaust and maybe a throttle body and a basic tune. And we swapped to this kegger intake that had the runners cut out by about 3 inches plus some porting because the manifold was, up to par with what I was comfortable putting on a customer vehicle. And as is, the truck lost 50 pound-feet of torque just swapping. Once I did some custom dyno tuning, and this was specific to the truck, not one of my can flashes. This was something I was tuning it like it was a more modified vehicle than what it was. I was able to get things to the point where we had got the torque back, but we gained zero wheel horsepower and 0 pound-feet of torque compared to the unmodified kegger. We did gain, I'm talking single digits, on after peak horsepower RPM. I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been 5 to 7 wheel at like 5,500, right at the end of the curve. And we had picked up a little bit, a few pound-feet of torque under the curve, under peak torque RPM. I'm talking like 2,500. But this was from very aggressive tuning. Nothing that I would ever send out to a customer remotely. So, all that being said, do not modify the kegger. If you're going to do it at all, maybe clean up the port work. Just knock off some of the goobers in the casting, and maybe do one of those like volume reduction plates, like they used to sell. But if you have any sort of disposable income or more money than time, get ahead of it. Just get an air gap, or buy one of the other available Magnum intakes out there. Any of the Magnum intakes. I don't care if it's a M1 2 barrel, M1 4 barrel, air gap, whatever. They all pick up a minimum of 20 to 25 wheel across the board with good tuning. That's just the difference. Tune versus tune with the kegger versus tune with the intake manifold. The difference is 20 to 25 wheel. On something that might make 200 wheel, that's a huge difference, and you can feel it across the curve. If you get an air gap, you're not going to notice any sort of loss of bottom end torque with good tuning. Keywords: with good tuning. So again, don't modify the kegger.